I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I just thought I'd do an update on things. Um, well, for the past few months, I've had a really bad chest infection, so I've been on antibiotics for a few months, about a month ago, and it was really bad. I I was I had difficulty. I got this virus, and basically this virus was going around mutating. Other people had it, and apparently it kept coming back. Um, well, when I had it, I was pretty much laid up for about oh God, 8 weeks basically. It was absolutely horrible. I mean, I couldn't even go to the toilet without gasping for air, with oxygen, because it caused such a lot of inflammation in my chest that I I just couldn't breathe because of it, and it was really difficult. So I thought I'd give you some updates on it, because it's been a while since I did any videos really. I've done some odd videos. I did a bit with my drone the other day, and um, but the I had to go to the hospital for a medical X-ray actually yesterday. They're trying to find out what's going on. You know, if it's COPD, or if it's emphysema, or whatever it might be. But I honestly believe it's got something to do with that virus. But they gave me some more antibiotics and more steroids, which I haven't started taking yet, because the last time I took them, it really, I don't know if it was the virus that caused it or if it was the antibiotics themselves, but I've had issues with eating, and my appetite and my digestive system seems to have stalled out a bit. I've tried all sorts. I've tried porridge, which is supposed to be good for your digestive system, um, but lack of energy really. It's the biggest problem at the moment. I just can't seem to get mobile very much, because um, when you can't breathe, you can't move, right? Because you need oxygen to move, right? So I kept getting wheezy, and my asthma kept coming back, and so anyway, I don't want to go on too much about the medical stuff, but about my medical situation. But I've just been overwhelmed with everything else that's going on with this thing right now at the moment, and we're trying to get better. And I've been spending more time in Second Life, but I've also been chilling out watching videos, and there's other issues going on. A friend of mine who left me quite a few comments on some of my videos, Ray Thompson, we're worried about him. We think he might have passed away. For those that don't know, I often refer to him as Ken. Ken. Now, he was a good friend of ours on the Discord chat, and he's been with us for a few years. We're often leaving comments on Discord and chatting, and he's helped me out a few times previously when I was having financial difficulties and loans, nothing permanent and that. Well, at the moment, it's been since the 3rd of March 2026. We've no longer heard anything from him, because the last message he posted to me, or posted to the group, was that he was having heart irregularities with his pulse rate, which has dropped down to 46 beats per minute, which is not good. So he went into hospital, and that was it. We haven't heard nothing, and it's now the 1st of April, so it's basically a whole month has gone by. And he used to leave comments and used to give me a thumbs up on my videos. He used to let me know he was around, and now is just silence. It's just silence. And we're all worried about him. There's about 8 or 9 of us in the Discord group chat. It's a private group chat. It's not. It's the RWG Research.org's chat group to do with energy research, but that's been a bit quiet lately because Russ hasn't been doing many. He hasn't really been doing any videos much to do with energy at the moment. It's mostly he's more involved with his family at the moment, and which is fair enough because you gotta prioritize family, obviously. And so without trying to diverge too much off topic, I haven't done much with anything just lately. I've flown my drone yesterday, but that was over a year since it's been over a year since I last flew it. And my license, I'd let my flyer ID and my what do you call it, expire previously, and I just renewed it around in October. I think it was October, November. I just renewed it, and I still hadn't flown it for, well, since I renewed it. So it's over a year, more than a year since I flew my drone. And so yesterday I decided, well, I needed to find out if it was still okay and everything, and it was still stable. And I found out, I think I found out one of the issues where it was doing the weird flip, where it would flip on its upside down when I first launched it. I think I might have a clue as to what was going on with that. I think with the C-Fly Faith Mini, I think you're supposed to turn the drone on last. I think you're supposed to turn the remote control on first, and your phone on, and then you turn the power on to the drone. Anyway, that's just a theory, because when I did that, it was okay. It didn't do any weird flips upside down. But previously, I'd start the power up on my drone, then I'd turn on the remote control, then I'd turn on my phone. I'd turn my remote control on, which was plugged into my phone, and that's when it did the weird stuff where it would flip upside down. But then when I turned the drone off and reset it and turn the drone back on again, it was fine. So I thought, well, maybe I was turning it on in the wrong order. Maybe I was supposed to turn the drone on last and not first. Anyway, so I'm just going over a few things. The other thing is that I have doubts and reservations about the safety aspects of this particular drone, because it didn't mention it. I don't recall. I looked in the manual. It doesn't tell you that you're supposed to turn the drone on last. It doesn't give you a sequence of flight thing. It doesn't tell you which. Anyway, so it's these little niggling doubts that creep up in your mind that make you feel unsafe and reluctant to actually fly it a fair distance. And I haven't really flown it very far. I mean, I like the telescopic flights because I like to just go straight up and take some video of the harbour and the castle and that. But I'm just worried that if I fly it too far out and it does something weird, it could end up crashing and landing on somebody's roof and I never get it back. That's the main reason why I don't like flying it very far, because of the unpredictability of it. If I get my confidence up with it, and I do discover that it's simply because you need to turn the drone on last, have the remote control on first, and then you turn the drone on as the last step. If that's just all it was, then I need to prove that to myself by repeating it a few times before I actually do decide to fly it a little bit further out. At the moment, I've got it limited anyway to 60 meters horizontally, either direction from me, and that maximum altitude I've got it set to, I think it's about 80 meters. I think the maximum legal altitude you can fly in the UK is 120 meters, which is 400 feet. But I don't like flying it that high anyway, because I can't barely see it. When you're 400 feet up in the air, you can barely see it, right? I mean, it's not a big drone, so it's not easy to see it, especially if you've got the sun in your eye. So I prefer to stick to a relatively, a moderate altitude, so that I can keep an eye on it. There's no point to be too high anyway, because the other issue with that is that high altitudes, you tend to get stronger winds at high altitudes, and the stronger the wind, the more. And if you can't see it very well, there's a high probability that you could lose it. Wind could take it away. So I prefer to keep it visual line of sight. I like to maintain my my visual connection to it, so I can see what's going on. As I say, this is an update really on what's going on at the moment. So there's not a lot to say really. That's the reason why it's been a while, because I thought, well, I'll just let a few things accumulate and let you know what's happening. I do want to get back into energy research at some point, doing my builds, but I just haven't got it in me right now. I just haven't got it in me. It's sometimes people just drift away from something for a while, and you kind of lose the interest and the determination, and you just need something else. You need something else in your life, really. You just want to focus on something else that gives you a sense of meaning, like you feel like you're doing something that's useful. But at the same time, sometimes these things, you hit a wall and you just feel like you're chasing your own tail, like you're going around in circles and you're not getting anywhere. You just feel like, what the hell am I doing? What's the point? Why bother? I mean, I have to admit this. I've had a lot of disappointment with YouTube and the way YouTube's going at the moment, and the fact that a lot of people who made YouTube videos have been basically slapped down because of content copyright, and it's just getting really pitiful. And I noticed that my video I did on the seagull recently, that short, I've only done two short videos really, and one of them is a seagull peg leg, and I was a bit disappointed. I was very disappointed with the YouTube algorithm, which made a big fuss about the fact that there was music playing in the background. You could hardly hear it. It was so faint you could barely make it out. Auditory, you could barely make it out. But it flagged my video as a copyright violation and said it was blocked in some countries. And I'm thinking, God, give me a frigging break. That was not intentional. It was in the frigging background. You can hardly hear the damn words. You can't hear the words. It's because the AI algorithm picked up the melody in the background. It wasn't even something that I wanted to on the video in the first place. But it gives you the option to trim it out or it gives you the option to replace it. But I was talking over the freaking music. I was actually talking about the seagull, and this freaking AI decided to make a big thing out of this faint music in the background that you could barely hear. And when you get things like that, it's a slap in the face. It's insulting. You know, it's like, why should I freaking bother making videos? YouTube is being nitpicking. It is nitpicking. You know what nitpicking is? It's when you have a tiny speck on your glasses which isn't bothering you, really. You can see a speck on your glasses, but you put them on. You can't see it because it's in the corner somewhere. And it's like, oh, you make an obsession over this little speck that you can't get off your glasses. It's nitpicking. When you make a big thing out of something so insignificant that it's not even worth talking about, but they make it big. So they put this big message over my video saying, oh, this video is blocked in some countries because of music copyright violation. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, give me a break. How many times have you been driving along in your car? You're driving along. I don't have a car, by the way. Somebody drives past you blaring music out, right? Boom, boom, boom. All you can hear is boom, 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 boom. You can't even hear the music. You can't hear the melody. All you can hear is boom, 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 boom. And you're making a video. Some guy drives past you with music blaring out, and YouTube would make a big fuss that, oh, that's a melody belonging to so-and-so song, we're going to block your video. That is the kind of nitpicking that really annoys me. You know, the thing about AI is it's not very smart. It's not very intelligent. It makes a big thing out of something so small, so insignificant, that it makes you notice it more. So normally there's these things that happen to us in daily life that you just, oh, I never noticed about that. I never noticed that. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, was that? Oh, I never noticed. But YouTube flags it, and then you think, oh God, what the hell are they on about? You know, what's this? They're making a big thing out of this. I didn't even notice it until they said. You know what I mean? So, and I'm thinking to myself, what's the point? What's the freaking point making videos? So notice right now I'm making a video and I've got no music playing. And I haven't got anything playing. Because if I had anything running in the background, YouTube would moan about it and complain about it and give me a hard time. So, there's this other thing. I just wanted to say something about this. So there's this issue with the government and the councils and the housing associations where they make a big thing out of your personal safety. Oh, they make a huge thing. They come out to check your gas to make sure you're not going to gas yourself. They want to make sure your sockets are safe so you don't go and electrocute yourself. But you get this piece of plastic that's blown off somebody's roof with nails sticking out that you can step on in the dark and injure yourself and get gangrene or something, or tetanus, which is laying in the backyard right now, which blew off somebody's roof. We reported it over a month ago. that this piece of plastic was blowing around and it could cause injury. And I made a video, it's on YouTube, it's on my YouTube channel. So there's this thing that blew across and it could easily somebody. It could injure them, it could seriously, yeah. But you report that, you tell them that there's something that's dangerous that could hurt somebody, and guess what? They don't give a damn. They don't care, right? They are not interested. They haven't. It's over a month now, and it's still out there, and it's still waiting for the next gust of wind to come and carry it off and slap some more. It's got nails sticking out of it, for God's sake. Imagine that thing blowing across into somebody's face with nails. Oh, I'm bleeding to death. Imagine that. And they don't care. So the government making a big fuss about our health and safety, it's all a facade, it's all fake, it's a joke. They don't really care about us because it's really about is control. That's all it is. It's all about control. It's about making you feel like you have to be subservient to them and do everything that they say. But when you tell them something that's dangerous, they don't want to know. I'll try and link it to this video, that piece of plastic, that roofing material that blew. I'll try and put a link to it at the end of this, in the end screen. So anyway, thanks for watching. Those are my gripes and everything else that's going on at the moment. See you later. Bye.